Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Weekend Big Show powered by Law Dog Sports and the College Football Recap Saturday night here with you live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X. Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog, here with you, and my partner, ruler of the airways, Jeremy Schroeder. Woo! A lot of football today, Jeremy, and those road games for OU really seem to take up just a blip of the space along the whole concept of the day of college football, because it felt like that South Carolina game went really quick, and next thing I know, I look up and it's close to 4 o'clock.
I know, and isn't the 11 o'clock window, or the 11:45 SEC network window glorious?
Oh, yeah. Isn't that?
I mean, you have the best announcers, you have the best officiating crew, you have the best camera crew. I mean, there were 2 consecutive plays I completely missed because the camera was pointed somewhere else.
Oh, yeah. There was a Lenora Sellers scramble that was just totally whiffed on, and I don't remember if it was a scramble. He almost got sacked and then got out of, I think.
And then there was a sack that we missed.
Yeah, I believe so. So obviously some students involved with the camera work and the studio work and SEC network. Go ahead.
You had calls that could have been overturned calls with no clear video evidence that there was anything wrong with the call on the field.
Yeah,
because there were no angles. They had 3 cameras, guys.
The Lenora Sellers scramble for a first down, which almost wasn't, was really interesting in the fact that they had no way to overturn that.
No,
they came back and said it was a first down. It's like, it is. I mean, if you called it not a first down and you have to have indisputable video evidence, you didn't meet that threshold.
No, and at this point it feels like we're being picked on, doesn't it? That entire drive.
Yeah, that was bad.
I mean,
the 3 PIs and
I mean, the one on Bowen in the end zone, you got to talk me into that one because the ball's way inside. Bowen is in position where he's supposed to be.
Yeah.
The ball's way underthrown. What's he supposed to do there?
We'll break into some OU analysis here in just a little bit, but a couple of things I want to go over. Like I said, we are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter X. Be sure and comment. Give us your take on today's game, and hopefully the word got out to everybody that we're live here with you on a Saturday night, and college football recap show, something that we do throughout the football season, particularly college football season. But Jeremy, we did the Weekend Big Show yesterday, and I texted you afterwards and told you we whiffed on something major. Super Sky Point to former KISS lead guitarist Ace Frehley passed away at the age of 79, I think it was the other day. I think Thursday he passed away. And I'd heard everything I'd heard said that, 79 was a lot of house money on his part. But
that's guys that live the life that he lived, make it to almost 80. That's a long
70.
time. I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, those 70s rockers, man, they were a different cut. I mean, it came away a lot tougher back then. But yeah, he was my favorite KISS member back when I was a kid, and when KISS first broke out and was popular. And I think I was in elementary school, and I got my butt whooped over a KISS shirt one day.
That's in Satan's service, huh?
It was, and it was Kings for me. Not until I met the first kid I ever knew that played Dungeons and Dragons did I hear Knights, but it was Kings in Satan's service. And I remember I told a buddy of mine at the radio station here in Weatherford, I remember the movie that came out. I think it was on NBC. It was KISS Saves the Amusement Park or something like that.
KISS Saves Christmas?
It was set in an amusement park. And,
okay.
Man, but Ace Frehley, he was the one solo when they did the 4 solo albums. He was the one that I asked my older brother to go out and buy for me. So Ace Frehley, Super Sky Point to that guy, and just a lot of great music from Frehley's Comet, and he really kind of revived his career in the 80s post KISS. I think
there was that window in time in the late 80s where these guitar virtuosos were just putting out like Satriani,
Surfer
Ingwe
with the Alien.
Malmsteen. Yeah,
Yeah.
I had that. That was great.
Steve Vai did his bit in Crossroads, and
Yeah.
it was a great time for rock guitarists. And to me, I always remember just seeing the clips once MTV finally came out of Frehley's pyrotechnics that stemmed out of his guitar.
Did I read that right? That MTV is no longer.
Yeah, that was and kudos to them for 14 years of great music. But after 40 years, I do believe they are, or 40 plus years, they're pulling the plug on their music channels.
Man, what's oh my gosh, what's that ridiculousness, Rob?
It's been nothing but Rob Dyrdek for
what's Rob
16
Dyrdek going
hours
to do
a
at
day.
this time now?
I mean, he's probably going to find a home. It's probably going to be some sort of reality,
True TV or something.
Yeah, something like what was the one that Paramount Plus used to be? Kind of a manly name.
Spike
TV. You know what's funny is you can go find what was the Japanese game show that used to be on Spike at 8 hours a day? Most Extreme Challenge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you can find that on Prime. It's on there, and
oh my god,
classic stuff. All right, so anyway, Super Sky Point to Ace Frehley, and just I hadn't heard him in years. Saw him. He used to do a lot of episodes on when they did that that heavy metal. What was that called with those dudes on VH1 Classic?
Headbangers Ball?
No, it was a talk show. That metal show, I think.
Oh, okay.
Eddie Trunk and some guys. But no, what I was going to say is I put out an Instagram post some months back with a clip with a picture of MTVX and an audio bed behind it of Korn, and I just said, "Remember what they took away from us," because
That's
I remember in 02. I think it was 01 or 02, MTVX became MTV Jams, and I was like, nah, But anyways, Dan Narva checking in from Michigan. I want my MTV. Those were the days, and Ace Frehley was a rock soldier. Great guitarist. I think he influenced a lot of dudes. I know he influenced Dimebag Darrell. I mean, Darrell came out and said as much.
I was never a big Kiss fan. A few songs, Detroit Rock City. I Love It Loud, but
I think even as a kid, once I Was Made for Loving You, Baby came out, I was like, what?
Yeah. That's all right.
My favorite rock band just went disco. No, thank you.
Yeah, right.
Marty Wandry from Clinton Liquor checking in says,
there
Boomer, let's go ahead and take Marty's cue.
Let's don't forget the Skip and the boys hung up 15 on the Red Raiders in the first inning today.
Man, I'm telling you, it was you're talking about the the baseball. I saw that. Yeah. So that's fall ball, and that's I don't know, Skip Johnson, man. He's he I think he can put together a program.
I hope so. It'd be nice to see him back in Omaha. Skip's a good dude.
So real-time scores going on right now. Texas leads Kentucky 7-0. I think they may have just recovered a fumble.
I think Kentucky may have fallen.
Right. Cincinnati up 21-10 on Oklahoma State. 16-7 in Tuscaloosa. Crimson Tide lead, and 14-13 just before halftime in South Bend as USC doing what they do, giving better teams fits. So
A&M Arkansas just went final 45-42.
Oh, so Arkansas did back on the board. So yeah. Dan Narvis's first 3 albums and Alive were the first ones you're neat. Yeah, I think I had Kiss Alive too. My brother bought for me. I had older brothers, man. They kept me in stock with rock albums. So
that was a couple of years before my time.
Yeah, it would have been. So
you got to remember, I whiffed on so much good music in the 90s simply because they wouldn't play it on the radio here, and it was pre-internet.
Yeah. I mean, I got in on some grunge, but I dug into some really old Western stuff, country stuff back in the 90s too.
Same.
And really missed out on some good 90s country. But that's the great thing about Amazon Music, Jeremy, is I can go back. I do regret one thing. I do regret a lot of the early Red Dirt stuff, or just the Texas artists like Charlie Robison, Bruce Robert O'Keefe. I've gone back and done pretty deep dives on those guys. and John Prine. That's another one I've gone back. So, anyways, but music set aside, it was a big day in Columbia, South Carolina for the OU Sooners as they went down there 5.5-point favorites. And we always say it, Jeremy, good teams win, great teams cover. And it was, I'm not going to lie. I was really, hey, Rand Lindsay checking in. So
Rando.
some
David Allen
Coe.
Coe.
Yeah, just don't go searching on YouTube for the early David Allen Coe stuff.
I went and saw David Allen Coe at the Bricktown Brewery many years ago, and wow,
yeah,
he looked like somebody's grandmother. And
I remember, hey, in 1981, my mother was married to a guy that owned a construction company, and he did pretty well, but Urban Cowboy was pretty popular, so he and my mother went out and got outfitted. And there was a Western store in Tulsa called Drysdale's, and we're there, and I'm with him, and we're shopping, and I say, Mama, what's that man doing? And it was David Allen Coe wearing a full-length stole in July, and all of that garb that he was starting to wear, and two of the skankiest women you could ever picture in your mind walking on his arm, and they're just picking out stuff left and right. So
I wanted to go see him, but after listening to him times like, bro, just play the ride so I can go home.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the one. Dan Narva saying it's great to go back and find all the music you missed, but yes, football, yes. Connor Carr, Please Come to Boston is my favorite Coe song. I guess that was made famous by Dave Mason.
Yeah.
Those guys.
He wrote it.
I'm like you, the ride, and that's about it for me anymore.
Up Against the Wall, Redneck Mother.
That's Ray Wiley Hubbard.
That's Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Yeah, good one.
No, I was drunk.
Yeah, that's You Never Even Called My
Name. You never even called me by my
name. That's his big hit, but The Ride is his best.
Yes.
So David Allen Coe set aside, it was a big day, and as we mentioned,
we're chasing rabbits tonight, guys.
We really are.
I'm into the victory beers. So
did you know that you're not on Instagram maybe as much as I am, but that Facebook or that Instagram page, Truck Stop Chic, is totally sponsored by Lone Star Beer nowadays, and we would take a sponsorship if we could get one. But
that would be cool.
They post some neat stuff. Anyways, OU wins 23-7, I think it was
26-7.
26-7, yeah. Let me get that score pulled up while I'm talking about 26-7, and the OU defense obviously got the memo at halftime. Really put the clamps down on South Carolina. I didn't like a lot that was going on in the first half when they cut it to 7. I called you out on the text thread. You can't tell me that the pucker factor wasn't there when they cut it to a score.
When they came out and kicked a field goal, I mean, dang, Tate Sandell hits an absolute missile from 55 yards into the All-State hands.
Yeah. Did you see? Have you seen those golf balls called piss missiles?
No.
I picked one up in the weeds that Roman knows, and it's a brand, and it's actually monitored.
Is it hot? Hot?
I guess you can hit it far. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that was that would be the description of what Sandell had there. But yeah, I mean,
my thought process was if they could get another score, probably be okay.
Yeah,
because it just felt.
Well, especially after you kick off to them to begin the second half and they do nothing.
3 and out. They had how many consecutive 3 and outs in the second half? Because they really got after Sellers.
And they did, and honestly,
7 sacks.
That's what I felt last week when Texas, what was it? Texas took a 9-6 lead, I think.
Yeah, the thing with Sellers,
and I just felt like it was over.
The thing with Sellers is once he got scrambling around, he wasn't hitting anybody. It really looked like the defensive backs got the memo after last week. Like, hey, if he breaks contain, get on your guy, get him off his route, and stay with him. And he couldn't find guys downfield, which was amazing to see.
Yeah. Marty Wandry, did they let Neubauer play instead of Hawkins because that kid is from the Carolinas?
No.
Also, I mean, they're going to watch Michaels red shirt, right?
Yeah, they're trying to preserve that red shirt because if Mateer goes, then you want to have at least one scholarship quarterback that you
Got some
like.
experience. Yeah.
You don't want to throw Bo Bentley out there as a true
No.
freshman.
No. But thanks, Marty Wandry and Clinton Licker for the question there. Rand Lindsay said he loved the quick kick. You gotta love, I mean, we see it a lot in high
Dude,
school.
that was awesome.
When I'm calling high school play by play, there's a lot of quick kicks that I've seen over the past 3 seasons. And Nate Hibble, I think was the last your typing's really coming across the mic. So
Sorry, my wife is giving me orders and she knows I'm doing something.
well, Nate Hibble, I think, was the last OU quarterback to complete a quick kick, if I remember right.
Man, I don't even remember that.
And I'm just going on based on my own memory.
Did they do a quick kick out of a field goal formation when Tim Duncan was the kicker? They lined up for a long field goal, direct snap to the kicker, and
That
he
would have been
punted it.
during the Nate Hibble era, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he was the kicker in the national
Mhm.
championship season.
Okay, so they may have, but I know for a fact in that 02 season that I remember Hibble doing a quick kick.
When he dropped back a few more yards, I'm like, oh, they're doing it. Okay, let's see what happens. And man, you cannot do it more perfectly than they did. Alabama looks like okay, never mind. That was a replay.
Torrey Blaylock, 101 yards on 19 carries. Xavier
What
Robinson, 11 carries, 58 yards, and both of them had a touchdown.
you know, and while you're talking about that, I really like the way Blaylock ran the ball. I would
Yeah.
have liked to seen him get 5 to 10 more carries or touches. It just
Yeah.
seemed like when he'd get in a rhythm, then Robinson's a great change of pace back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Blaylock is 3-4 carries, bring Robinson in 1 or 2. You're not throwing the ball much. You're trying to control the clock, which they did.
Yeah.
They had almost a 8-minute advantage in time of possession at the end of the game, which is something you got to do in the SEC.
Well, and let's give Arbuckle some credit on the play calling. That touchdown pass to Satania, that was some really get the secondary on their heels type stuff.
Hopefully that's the hopefully that starts to get their mojo back a little bit with that deep ball.
Yeah. Yeah. Big day for Robert Spears Jennings on the defensive side, 7 tackles. Kendall Daniels, man, that guy.
He's good, isn't he?
Give me a dose of him every single game when he's out there, just head knocking people.
He is a certified message sender.
He is. And I said this in the text thread, best portal pickup probably other than Dylan Gabriel in the portal era for OU.
Yeah, he's a good one.
I mean, Dominic Williams is good. But
Dominic Williams is a good one.
Yeah.
So he's been very impactful.
If I had to do a Mount Rushmore of portal pickup since Brent Venables has been there, it'd probably be Gabriel, Dominic Williams, and Kendall Daniels. Because Trace Ford just never accomplished.
No, he wasn't on the field enough. He had little injury issues. Blood clots? But trying to think of anybody else that was a big portal pickup. Walter Rouse.
Well, if you want to go back to just straight out transfers,
Aaron Gray.
Who's the little receiver that caught the touchdown against OSU back?
Jalen Saunders?
Yeah, that guy.
I mean, but he had a city year.
He did, but he was, you're just talking transfers, like I said. But actual portal pickup, I'd put Kendall Daniels up there with just about anybody.
Well, Baker Mayfield, if we're going to go.
If you're talking transfers, yeah, but portal. Rand Lindsay, what's a soak separator? I don't know what that means. Maybe you can explain, but anyways, defense played really well in the second half. And when you look at the South Carolina stats, Jeremy, and really, if you look at it, there's not that much difference in the stats from last week.
No, just the defense played better in the second half.
Lenore Sellers, 17 of 25, 124 yards and a touchdown. I mean, isn't that basically about the same stat line that?
Yeah, it's not much better.
Not that much better.
No,
or worse.
No, I mean the big stat line with Sellers was 13 carries for -9 yards.
Yeah, and how many times was he sacked?
12.
I mean,
No. 7. He was sacked 7 times,
okay,
and they had 12 tackles for loss.
okay. Well, it's just they definitely got out, but also, I mean, uh, Shane Beamer, he's got issues, and I don't know if he's going to get him cured this year, and I don't know if it means he's going to survive.
Be the tight ends coach at Oklahoma next year, the special teams coordinator.
Come on,
I
come on.
know. Well, the Beamer ball thing, I guess if Brent Venables has seen you do it so many times,
Yeah.
it doesn't quite work out. Taylor Wine just drops right back into his zone, and the punter
Wow.
throws it to him.
Nice interception on the fake punt. Just read it like a book. Soul separator is what Rand Lindsay.
Soul separator.
That
Yeah.
makes a lot more. I
Yeah.
gets that a lot more.
I think that's Toby Rowland's call.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I think. Yeah, he's that.
Separated his soul from his body.
He's a good one to have, and that's for sure. Marty wondering us about how about Mateer? Well, I mean,
It was okay. Mateer did what they asked him to do today.
Yeah.
Take care of the football, move the sticks, get enough points. The defense is going to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was. They weren't trying to reinvent the wheel with the passing game. They were doing their quick game. They were getting the ball out of the edge. They were running the football, which was outstanding.
Yeah, the touchdown by Blaylock was really, really a great play.
You saw Caden Helms right on the edge, just getting enough of that edge player to so he could gain that edge. And man, seeing Oklahoma run the football today was having that success when they haven't had that success against anybody. And I know South Carolina's banged up, whatever. This offensive line needed this game just for confidence.
Did you are the penalties on Fasusi of any concern?
No, he's a freshman.
All right. Well, you do have Ole Miss coming into town next weekend, so
I know Fasusi needs that kind of
tape.
He needs to fail. He's a young player. He needs to fail.
Okay.
And
Isaiah Satania, 7 receptions for 73 yards and a touchdown. His long was 20 yards.
That ball he dropped, I think he could have taken to the house too.
Yeah, Javonte Gibson, 5 catches for 24 yards. And then Deion Burks, 2 catches for 19. Jaron Canick, 1 catch for 16 yards. He was targeted. Where are his targets?
3 times?
I think so. Is that – I mean, to me, I'm just going to throw this out there. Nothing really helps out a quarterback like tight end receptions do. I mean,
yeah,
it's there and it's easy. It's been the blanket for a lot of great quarterbacks, and yet we seem to go away from it.
Well, they ran a lot of formations, a lot of scheme with tight end on the field. And if you look, 18 was out there a lot. I think they're more comfortable with him as a blocker.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to limit some of Canick's targets, some of his routes he's going to be able to run, especially when they're, trying to hammer the run game.
Yeah. Well, it's we saw what he's able to do in the passing game, and looks like it is 7-3 Texas leading in Lexington, Kentucky on defense now. And
Arch just overthrew a wide open guy.
Overthrew a wide open tight end.
no one is even.
Arch Manning sucks so bad.
I hate him so much.
He's so
just
terrible.
That son of a bitch.
Born on third base and can't even
just walk it over to it and hand it to him, you jackass.
Dan Narvis says Ole Miss showed vulnerability, weak defense versus Georgia. Trinidad had a few passes batted down. Yeah, I'll say this: 2 things can be true. Ole Miss can give you fits offensively, and they can also, suck on defense. So it'll be interesting to see the matchup going into next week. But still on the South Carolina game, obviously injuries just really plaguing the Gamecocks today. And I'll say this. That's not what I anticipated from a Shane Beamer squad. But then also you look at last year when he came into Norman facing Joe John Finley, basically, or no, was Seth still?
Yeah, Seth was still
Seth
the OC.
was still on staff, basically facing Seth Luttrell and I hate to use the word hapless, but Michael Hawkins just kind of overwhelmed and just total just games. What's the word I'm looking for? Total end of game within the first 8 minutes, in that one, because you knew that nobody's going to be able to mount a
5
comeback.
minutes into the game, that thing was over.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I mean, you have 3 possessions in 5 minutes. You're down 21-0. Oh
exactly.
my God.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it's got to be nice for BV and the rest of the staff to go into Columbia and like they said in the previews. I mean, there's a lot of the guys on that Gamecock defense from last year that got drafted. They were an outstanding squad. But Lenora Sellers, I mean, Jeremy, they're talking about him being the face of potentially the best quarterback coming out when he gets a chance to. He didn't get a chance to show it today, but I'll say this: I think they even one of the few smart observations they made on the broadcast is that they're sending everybody long, and there's really not much on the checkdowns for him. Go ahead.
Their offensive scheme is ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're banking on Nick Harbor getting open deep on every play, and
Mike Shula
against a team like Oklahoma, you do not have the luxury of time to wait for that to get open. I mean, he scrambled and made a few plays today, but they were on him.
Yeah.
I mean, Halton, I was watching Halton on that sack he had. He looked like Secretariat coming off the line.
He really
did.
He
was in the backfield before Sellers even really had gone through his second read, and he's already getting hit by a 300-pound guy that just went 0 to 60 in a second.
Yeah. Well, Sellers with 14 carries and -9 yards, that being a lot of sack yardage, but like we said, he did have the scramble where he got a first down there in the first half. They ruled it short on 4th down, but then video evidence overturned it, and how they came away with any video evidence. But hey, I'll say this: both are tied in with the mothership, but I will give the ACC network so much more props over SEC network.
It's total transparency.
When that Miami game was on last night and they went to a review and they go to the frickin' command center where you hear what the replay official is telling the official, holy cow.
That is big time.
That is huge.
And I mean, Trump should sign an EO tomorrow. Every conference has to do this.
How about Trump signs an EO to get you paid? How about that?
We'll see what happens. The No Kings rallies took place today, so they'll probably have a budget Monday.
I always call it the knocking G's. If you break it up,
yeah.
Knocking G's. Oh, I cracked myself up. All right. So OU with a big matchup at Owen Field next week against the Ole Miss Running Rebs. And they really all those years that we heard about the Big 12 being just a shoot 'em out league, it was quite the shootout in Athens today. And I know both teams have players on defense. It's just, are we led to believe that both defense? I'm telling you this, Gunnar Stockton, he's basically channeling a Benjamin Button version of Jimbo Fisher. If you look at him with his helmet off, he's Jimbo. It's just scary. But
it's strange how these conferences evolve or devolve, and then you have Oklahoma and Texas coming to the conference, and they're built more like SEC teams than the teams that are in the friggin' SEC.
It's like showing up at costume parties and you weren't supposed to dress up,
right?
43-35, Georgia wins over Ole Miss, and a top 5 victory for Kirby Smart and the Bulldogs. And 17 fourth quarter points and no points for the Rebs of Lane Kiffin. And I gotta say, if I'm an Ole Miss fan, supporter, or booster, there's days when Lane's crap really gets pretty old. And I know he's cute to everybody, and he carries on. He's got his social media presence and stuff. But man, if you don't pull out some of the big ones, what the hell are you even doing?
Yeah, I don't want to say he's going to be in the hot seat if he loses this week
No,
because
no.
he won't.
But
I
I'm
mean,
having a
it's Ole
talk with
Miss.
him.
Yeah, I mean, their expectations aren't that high. I don't think. Have they ever won a national championship?
If they have, it would have been long before our parents.
Did Archie win one? I can't remember.
No.
You
No,
know,
that was back in the days of Texas and Alabama, I think.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't keep track.
Before we landed on the moon and let black players play in Southern schools.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, if they had one that they count, I wouldn't count it because equal playing field. But
Sure.
but still, Kirby Smart, that guy, they puke down their leg against Bama, and then he manages to beat Tennessee and Ole Miss. So I mean, it's just kind of that SEC hierarchy. It doesn't.
The SEC's a meat grinder, Chuck.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah,
You're
I mean,
exactly right.
We should feel fortunate that Oklahoma's bowl eligible through 7 weeks because
Yeah.
the rest of the season's, if they win their home games, quick math, they'll go 9-3 if they win their home games.
And really now, I mean, the home games, because what Auburn is what's the Auburn score? It's not a blowout by any stretch of the imagination.
I think it's halftime.
10-7 at the half, Missouri leading. And honestly, I'm sorry, going into Neyland doesn't seem that imposing anymore.
Look,
not to the point like where we're gonna have just no hope, right?
Yeah, Bama's putting their foot in their ass right now.
Tuscaloosa will be a tough pull. That's going to be rough going down there, especially considering that OU beat them last year. Marty Wandry says if Ole Miss wins, it's in game day in Norman. I don't
think so. I don't think so, Marty, because they've already been to Norman, and they don't like to go to the same place more than once in a season, I think.
But if not, so you've got
if Texas
hands 5 versus 14 in Norman, OU should move up in the polls, right?
It'll be more like 11 versus 12.
Okay, so let's take a look and see. Just going by today's rankings, you've got BYU and Iowa State. Matt Campbell ruined that. Miami hosts Stanford. No. A&M at Baton Rouge, 4 versus 10, but LSU will fall.
LSU lost again today. Is that their second loss?
Yes. Because didn't they lose to Ole Miss?
Yes.
What about Houston at Tempe?
No.
Texas in Starkville?
Nah.
UCLA, Indiana?
Who? Did UCLA win today? Have they played yet?
How about if Missouri wins against Auburn, Mizzou at Vanderbilt? You think game day wouldn't like to go to Nashville?
I think that's where they'll end up.
Okay. Michigan versus Michigan. Michigan goes to East Lansing. That's an unranked matchup. I would have to fall on Nashville right now, but if not, I mean, Marty brings up a good point.
They were just there.
I mean,
what, a month ago? I don't know if they'd come back that quick.
Yeah, it's.
It kind of ruins the novelty of it when you're going to the same site multiple
times. Nashville would probably be the destination because I think Missouri will probably pull this one out if I had to guess. All right. So, anyways, OU Ole Miss next week should be pretty interesting. I'm just going to say this. OU got extremely fortunate today that Mateer didn't just pass South Carolina right back into it. He's not anticipating defensive backs in some of his throws at all.
That the throw you're talking about, if he just puts a little touch on it, and not trying to throw a laser beam low into the inside, that's 25 yards. Because there was the only guy in the picture with him was the guy that dropped late into that zone and knocked it down.
Yeah.
But other than that, you can't really complain too much about the way he played today.
Dan Narvis says Archie was a factor, but I don't think Ole Miss won a natty. I didn't either. Marty Wandry, good thing we're not playing Vandy this year. That'd be a good matchup. I mean,
I'd like to
Diego
see.
Pavia.
I'd like to see that defense match up with Diego.
There's a lot of dudes that like to see Diego's Madre come to town also. So, just saying that. Marty Wandry says, yeah, he said also good thing we're not playing Vandy this year. Vanderbilt, man, I'm telling you, they go to Austin, but Texas probably better get prepared if they're struggling right now. It's 10-3 at the end of the third, but Kentucky must have just made a play because
they're celebrating something. I don't know. The lights went off, and I think Arch might have thrown a pick. Sack
there.
Okay.
But obviously the Texas defense is gonna probably prevail for the Horns in this one, but they're not gonna have the fortunate ability of dealing with Diego Pavia, even if it's at DKR. I would probably favor him to be able to perform.
He's got swagger.
He got some moxie.
Got some moxie.
Yeah.
He's about the closest thing to Baker Mayfield that's in college. Stop the Mateer thing. I mean,
I like the comparison. Yeah.
Mateer's a different guy.
Yeah. Texas Tech falls in Tempe 26-22. They took a 3-point lead with about 3 minutes left. Rough loss for them, but you're going in there without Baron Morton and a defensive lineman that you've lost for the season. The fact that they came back was pretty amazing, but that's the thing about this Big 12, and we'll see what the BYU Utah result ends up being. And I don't know who's leading that.
BYU's up 10-7.
Okay, so still a dogfight there in Provo. But I'll just say this. I mean, Cincinnati will probably handle business. I can't imagine OSU mustering up a comeback here. And then you look at Cincinnati and the rest of their schedule, Jeremy. They're ranked number 24 right now, but they host Baylor next week, and then they still have Utah, Arizona, BYU, and TCU, which TCU really put it on Baylor today. But I'll say this: it's the Big 12 is its own form of meat grinder this year.
The Big 12 orphanage.
Appreciate it. For all you Big 12 supporters out there listening, we appreciate you.
Home of teams that couldn't get into the SEC and the Big 10.
Oh my God.
I'm just kidding. I miss the old Big 12 days. I miss a good 52-45 game that about gives me a heart attack, but the dopamine rush is incredible.
Yeah. Well, 26-22, that's a pretty pedestrian Big 12 score, but I'm telling you, Tech, their defense still pretty stout. They just couldn't stop Levitt there at the end, and a lot of pressure on him. But he made some plays, and it's hard to get mad at your defense when a guy is just willing a team down the field.
He's a good player.
Yeah, 28-47, 319 yards and a touchdown. Will Hammond in backup role, 22 of 37, 167 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did throw a pick, and then Tech just really. I mean, if you're going to boil it down, and this is what we say all the time, Jeremy, you got to run the ball, and they didn't have the best day running the ball, and Hammond was their leading receiver or rusher. I'll just say this: I mean, I would still probably bank on Tech to finish out and be in that Big 12 championship game. Whether that's a de facto play-in game, I don't know. It's hard to say. It's one of those situations kind of like 2001 in the Big 12, Jeremy, where you might not want to be the team playing in the Big 12 if it's like last year with a 3-way tie, and you've got something, you've got a pretty decent overall record.
But you lost out of conference to Middle Tennessee State.
Yeah, let them fight it out. You come away with a better, as good a record, and you maybe have a chance to get in with the expanded playoff. I don't know, but it's just Texas Tech reached number 7, and I told Ryan Hyatt this, and he was live when we went on the air here. He may be done, but I told Ryan Hyatt, just silver lining, you're field storming worthy now. I mean,
right, and we are the days of an undefeated national champion. It's over. That stuff's done.
Oh yeah.
there's too many games. Everyone's going to slip up.
And the days of like your champion having, a loss and it being like a tight one. I mean, look how bad Ohio State got manhandled last year against Michigan.
Yeah,
I mean, you can
but
have
I
a
mean,
bad day.
the games. There's so many games. The parity. Everyone's got money except for apparently Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
But here's a question for you. Do you think with the infusion of capital into the Texas Tech football program that they could be a candidate to jump to one of the other power conferences?
I think that came out yesterday after we went off the air, Jeremy, but there is some talk that they would be attractive to the Big Ten.
Are they an AAU school?
I believe if they're not, they're going to be.
I mean, that would be kind of cool to see Texas Tech in the Big Ten.
And somebody pointed out how Sankey has kind of trash talked them, and I think even Yormark, who's the ACC douchebag? I forget, but Petiti in the Big Ten apparently has refrained from bad mouthing the Cody Campbell era.
Well, I mean, everyone's got to get their money from somewhere, right?
Uh,
I mean, it's not like
legal,
Texas
baby.
doesn't get a massive endowment from the state every year in
Yeah.
Texas A&M.
Yeah, Puff Fund.
The Puff Fund.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that?
No, I mean, money's money, and
Until it's not legal, it's legal, right?
exactly.
It's never a workaround the first time.
Marty Wandry says, "Who wins the Pac-12? It's a race between Washington State or Oregon State." Wazoo, Marty, as you mentioned that, I think I got Wazoo tied up with Virginia, number 18 ranked Cavaliers at home, tied up with the Cougs. So, man, never count out Wazoo. I mean,
the Coug is what did the Mike Leach say? The Coug is wily and bright-eyed.
Weren't they the only ones, or weren't they one of the few that beat? No, SC lost to B. Who was it? Washington State beat last season in the non-conference that it was a playoff team. I can't remember.
I can't either.
Yeah, but anyways, so yeah, Pac-12. I tell you something, Jeremy. I love staying up late on a Friday night watching some Mountain West. Not gonna lie.
Well, that's going to be the Pac-12 After Dark
Exactly.
coming soon. You're going to have Utah State, Colorado State at 10 p.m.
Mm-hmm. So Texas driving on Kentucky. No, Kentucky's got the ball. Sorry.
Kentucky's got the ball at the 30.
At the Texas 30. So
come on, brother Mark.
Try to tie this up.
Touchdown.
How about some interference? Uncatchable, I guess. But no, 23-7 at Tusk.
There's the flag.
Oh, they called? Okay. Good job, Law Dog. And USC trying to punch it in from the red zone. Looks like they may have some weather up there in South Bend, Jeremy.
Oh, good.
Arkansas, maybe the beneficiary or the victim of some poor weather today in Fayetteville. But they stuck with A&M for a while. But I'm going to say this: if Arkansas would have pulled off that upset, Jeremy, I would have been fine. But I'm really hoping A&M holds pat and just outshines the Horns this year in the SEC.
Same. I mean, I don't like A&M. I think I'm on record.
Yeah, you're hard on Aggie.
But I just, there are two schools I just detest, and that is Texas and Notre Dame.
Okay.
And mostly Notre Dame is out of stubbornness because they won't join a conference. And
I'll say this. I went to Notre Dame in 1999 for the OU game. Oof. And I came away just feeling like there was so much smoke and mirrors in their aura and their legacy and their tradition. I know they've got the history, but I wasn't impressed. And we walk out of there giving up a 17-point lead in the third, but Mike Leach really wasn't a big fan of running the ball.
No.
But I'll say that I don't carry near. Ever since Blake Bell led the victory against Notre Dame, I haven't carried near the grief against them that I used to.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of over it. If they have two losses, they're going to get over a good team that's in a conference that's had to play a tougher schedule.
Notre
It
Dame scores.
Yeah, I see that.
Okay.
I'm watching it.
Yeah, I mean, but they've been allowed to do it so long now,
But you
and
know
really,
what? If they win tonight, I'll be happy.
yeah,
And they ended the 47 game winning streak. Thank you,
Ran
Ran.
exactly right. Just couldn't, the old Bud Owen, the old Bud
And
Wilson teams just couldn't.
and they beat OU at home the day Sam Presti traded James Harden. This is just a
Yeah,
that was
that was
just a
the
shitty day
was
all
that
around.
the catfish game with two or what was his name?
Manti Te'o,
Anti Teo. Um, she was in Norman, I heard that night.
she was everywhere.
45-42, A&M gets the win in Fayetteville. They moved to 7-0. Arkansas at 2-5. Are the Hogs kind of past that Petrino bump after
I I mean,
the
they're playing
change?
hard. It's just not enough.
Yeah, defensively they really seem to struggle. Hey, let me tell you something real quick, folks, and that is if you exercise your Second Amendment rights and bear arms, then you would be wise to go ahead and check out CCW Safe. It's legal self-defense coverage with plans starting as low as $19 a month. And the link at the bottom of the scroll is where we would prefer you to go to, because that is our link with CCW Safe. It's also in the description of this live broadcast. Just click on that link and get you some coverage. They offer self-defense support with deep expertise, personal care, and self-defense coverage that goes beyond the basics. And I know two of the three founders very well. Worked with them for close to 30 years with the Oklahoma City Police Department, and they handle everything from legal defense to physical and financial and emotional support. If you ever find yourself in a bad way after you have rightfully defended yourself, CCW Safe is the people that you want in your corner, and check them out at the link in the scroll and in the description of this broadcast. Jeremy, we looking forward, as I mentioned, Ole Miss, they do present some of the old challenges that give me problems at night, right? I mean,
I'm still waiting on that running quarterback to be a problem this year.
I hate you.
I'm sorry. You said Lenora Sellers he was going to make plays with his legs.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean,
-9,
yeah.
-9.
Yeah, he fell short, even
I
after big season last year, and
but Chambliss is that he reminds me a lot of Sage Rosenfels. Not Sage Rosenfels, but oh god, what was the other? Oh my gosh, the small guy.
Brock Purdy.
No.
Oh, Seneca Wallace.
Seneca Wallace. I was going to
Yeah.
say the other tree themed guy down there at Iowa State. He reminds me a lot of him, where he's just kind of a water bug. He can get out of the edge, and
Uh-uh.
he's hard to track down. He reminds me a lot of him, and that game plan's probably still on file over there at the Switzer Center, so maybe they ought to look at that.
Yeah. It's early in the third quarter, Jeremy, and Tennessee just got a score, so they'll cut it to 9 with an extra point to come. Yeah, I mean, so Ole Miss, they if anything, here's the thing. What we leave 14-10 last year at the half in that game, or
It was like 15-14, I think.
okay.
It was a weird score. They were up
Well,
by a point.
I'll just say this. I mean, if anybody can come to Norman and choke out a victory, it's Lane Kiffin. I mean, I know that the defense will probably,
Aguiar just threw an interception on the 2-point attempt.
well, dang it. Do you see the little twerp kicking on game day today?
I think so.
He looked like a little.
Got a comment off the air. Horns aren't good. WTF was last week. We're better. Well, you got to. Sark is Brent's daddy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that goes back to the USC versus Oklahoma. It goes back to the Clemson versus Alabama. I mean, it's hard for BV to get a win against Sark, right?
It seems like that, yeah.
But I'll say this: I mean, 19 carries, 19 carries for Tory Blaylock. I mean, how does it work out if he gets 19 last week and they're really kind of trying to bear down? You know, I mean, I
what did he have? 6, 7 last week, and
maybe 11. I can't
just
remember.
Say 6, 7. I'm sorry.
No. I mean, is that some? What is that? I don't
even know. These kids, you say it and they'll be like, oh,
6 and 7,
6, 7,
6, 7,
6, 7. That's the thing now.
Don't get it.
I don't know.
Marty Wandry says he was in South Bend at the game when we got the win, baby.
Blake Bell.
Yep. Blake
Belldozer.
And also pick 6 on that one, I think.
Yeah. I want to say Jalen Saunders had a big game that day too.
Yeah. Dan Narvis says Notre Dame is pretty big up in my parts, just across the border, closer to me than Ann Arbor. The Irish and the Polish communities are all over the Irish. Okay, so when me and my wife lived in Oklahoma City, the neighborhood was in a little bit of flux, and there was a young couple that bought an older home. We lived in an older home, and there was a young couple that bought a home down the street from us, and we met them. They're very nice people. He had lived in Oklahoma but moved to Chicago, and I think she was from up there. And we're talking to them, and they're like, yeah, Chicago is really interesting. You know, they still have, ethnic neighborhoods, I think he put it. You know, they still have like Irish neighborhoods and Italian neighborhoods and even Polish neighborhoods. And I said, oh, do they know how to change their light bulbs? And he just looked at me with his dead stare like, what? I said, luckily you're too young for that kind of stereotype. But anyways, but no, yeah, there's a lot of Chicago.
I work with a Polish guy, and I can tell you, I know exactly where all of those come from.
I know. I've known a lot of Polish guys, and a lot of them can really kick ass. So I don't know, but no, thanks, Dan Narva. But yeah, so Trinidad Chambliss, like we said, I mean, the thing about a mobile quarterback is where's their head at when they're scrambling and looking downfield.
Mm-hmm.
Because honestly, I mean, we'll see what happens here. And I think Mark Stoops has a pretty good D dialed up against Arch and the Longhorns. I mean, of course, that's not the most complicated task anymore, but still. But I'll say this. Who was it that I was watching earlier? I think Levitt made a play where he scrambled. It was almost sacked, scrambled, gets right up to the line of scrimmage and just finds a guy in stride. You know, I mean, that's that nightmare scenario that I still relive from like the Brad Smith era at Missouri and things like that.
Yeah, on that 3 foot tall hay they were playing on that night.
Yeah. Speaking of Halloween night, the Weatherford Eagles play at Woodward, and I watched some of their clips online. Marty Wandry can probably attest to this, but Woodward plays on natural grass, and man, I'm telling you, this time of year it is just really thick. And Marty says he's 50% Polish, so not kidding. Well, hopefully you don't have to change any light bulbs there at Clinton Liquor, Marty's. Hey, did you see?
You don't have a round room in there somewhere.
Speaking of, and before I switch over to our sponsor for Clinton Liquor, we want to thank All American Emergency Vehicle Upfitters, Kenny McGuire, good friend of mine. If you are involved in any form or fashion with volunteer firework or any sort of equipping of emergency vehicles, give our friend Kenny a call, 580-661-2380. We'll tag all of these sponsors in our social media posts, but we appreciate Kenny McGuire. Let's see. Marty Wandry, Dan Narva says, I used to have a Polish joke book, but you flipped the cover and it was an Italian joke book. Okay. Oh, speaking of ancestry, said, I've got a significant chunk of ancestry from central and southwestern Mexico, but also the English middle. What is it they call it? The Midlands, I think, or something like that. So I'm Birmingham trash, apparently, on one side.
There you go.
But anyways, so Marty got a good laugh out of that. Hey, so back on Trinidad Chambliss, and Dan Narva could give us an amazing scouting report on the guy, but running that Kiffin offense, I mean, they're going to come in and have success. It's just a matter of what their defense can do to put Mateer in bad spots or to stuff the run. And I don't know, is Ole Miss, I mean, they looked porous today against Georgia, but I mean, Georgia's throwing some playmakers out there. Does this OU offense have what it takes to move the ball down the field against Ole Miss at home?
It's a little early for me to give you any kind of analysis because I haven't watched Ole Miss but a little bit.
Tied up in Lexington, baby.
Oh, wow. Would you look at that? I'm
Kentucky
just
has the ball.
Today was such a great day for Oklahoma because they got other guys in there and were able to run the football.
Sure.
So you got to think that, confidence being what it is, continuity being what it is, that they're going to be, I mean, not better next week, but adequate.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to run for 170 yards. Get 130. Take the pressure off the passing game.
So here's the question about it. Is a game like today enough to give that unit that was out there majority of the snaps today some fluidity and some chemistry to be able to accomplish what they need to do?
Yes, as long as the guys that played today are not on that injury report next week. What are you doing?
I'm matching up my hat logo at the liquor store. Clinton Liquor, 1018 South 10th Street in Clinton, just right off of I-40. Yeah, you're exactly right. And, it those guys as they go, right?
Yeah, but you got to keep guys off that injury report, man. I mean, it's just four O linemen out today, 5 O linemen out today.
Oh,
and it's what?
Well, I think they'll say it was a forward pass, but man, Texas brought the rush. It might have been Colin Simmons, but he got to the quarterback, and I think
being incomplete
forward. They got it. Man, you've got the game plan for that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and defensively, I would bet. And I know Georgia's got, the recruits and stuff, but I mean, their defense hasn't really gone out there and just shown. I don't know. Are we talking about?
They haven't been great this year.
Yeah, and I guess my question, Jeremy, is are we truly an SEC elite level defense? I know that they lead in majority of the categories, but I mean, are they really that squad that can go out there and just handle it?
Yes.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way others have played common opponents, Auburn, South Carolina,
yeah,
they've given up way fewer yards to those teams. I mean, OU was just a couple of dumb plays away from completely blowing out Auburn.
Sure.
And the same thing today. Just maybe some better clock management, maybe some better officiating in crucial spots, 4th and goal, when there's 2 holds on the same play and the left tackle had left early. You give up 3 points instead of 7, and 26-3 feels a lot better than 26-7 because your touchdown streak in the first half is still intact. But
I know there were 2 penalties on that touchdown throw by Sellers, but I mean, still, you've got everybody laying back there in the
I know, and you lose the best receiver is just lost.
Yeah, and I'll say this: this season I am the most negative OU fan that you could construct.
But you have to be positive about one thing.
Go ahead.
And one defensive back in particular, Jacoby Johnson.
Oh,
from Mustang.
Sure,
he had an interception, and they tried to throw a deep ball when Sellers finally had time to let one rip. And if you watched it, Johnson at the line, hands on him, put him in his pocket, ran stride for stride with him all the way down the field, and was in perfect position for that ball. Incomplete. I I think Jacoby's earned himself a lot more snaps today,
Yeah.
which I'm good with that. He's a local kid. That's awesome. He's from Mustang. I don't know why he hasn't played much. I guess,
Well, Gentry
Gen
Williams, like
yeah,
you said in the text thread, it's surprising he made it this far.
I know.
But they
7
said, I
games
think they
in.
said he left the stadium in a sling.
Yeah. They
So,
said the X-rays came back clean, but that doesn't mean anything
yeah.
because he's going to have the MRI, and it'll probably be the same injury he had last year. So,
Dan Narva, a super fan and of ours and of Ferris State, where Trinidad Chambliss transferred from, said he isn't tall. The batted balls were in some pretty important situations. Not too much of a surprise that Georgia might pose some issues. Yeah, it'll all be about the game plan, and it'll be about going out and asserting yourself offensively. I mean, we know that, and I'll just say this: I will try to go into next week being far more optimistic.
I
But
won't. I
okay,
was told a guy asked me at the gym this morning, "They're going to win today?" I had no U sweatshirt on. I said, "Nope. Can't run the football. Can't
can't
run the
run
football in the
the ball.
SEC. You can't win." I mean, I probably sound like I was 100 years old.
Well, by and large, if you block
Well,
and tackle
by
and
and large, you gotta be able to run football in the
run
SEC.
the football and block and tackle, you're gonna win the football game. Um, yeah.
And
So
then midway through the second quarter, I realized that they got in the lab this week and figured out how to run the football.
I guess Rand Lindsay's letting us know they gave Texas the turnover.
Oh,
So
perfect.
looked like the arm. I mean, just glancing up in the corner of my eye, looked like the arm was going forward, but that's where it happens.
Oklahoma State just scored.
All right, so that'll make it 28-17. So the Cowboys really giving an effort here against, I think, a pretty decent Cincinnati team.
Yeah, they're a decent football team.
Wonder how the turnout is tonight. I haven't looked at the crowd on the
I don't know,
shot.
but Oklahoma State's wearing far too much orange.
Did you see the Houston Arizona game today?
Yeah, that was tough.
That was a lot of red.
That
I
was a
I
whole lot
tweeted
of
if they'd
red.
have played that at Eastern Washington, it might have been like the movie. Might have been
Burn
like
your
the movie
retinas right out
Scanners.
of your head.
15 seconds, you have a headache. 10 seconds, you can't stand the pain. 5 seconds, your head explodes. Well, and also remember in Tommy Boy, I think when they found out that the orders were wrong, David Spade goes, "Anybody remember that movie Scanners?"
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at our pick'em, Jeremy, and then we'll get out of here and let the folks have the rest of their Saturday night. So Matt Rule and the Cornhuskers totally screwed me today, and PJ Fleck, or last night, I'm sorry, PJ Fleck covered that 7.5 in a big way. Tell me when are you ready?
Now I am.
Okay. I've got 6 points going into the end of the night.
Same.
So,
It's
North
been a rough
Carolina,
day.
did I take North Carolina covered? So they covered the 10. So thanks a lot, Belichick. But Cal did get the win 21-18. Ramblin' Wreck of Georgia Tech got the cover against Duke. The 1.5-point dogs go into Raleigh, Durham, or is it just Durham?
I think it's Raleigh Durham.
Yeah, and get the win 27-18. Huskies let me down in Ann Arbor, and they didn't cover the 5.5, 24-7 Michigan wins. Bayou Bengals screw me in Nashville. They couldn't cover the 2.5. Houston got me through on one of my picks with the plus 1.5 over Arizona, and I had South Carolina covering the 5, so obviously lost that one. Scott Frost and the Knights of UCF helped me out with the -7. They won that one big, 45-13. And you had a little bit of comment about it, Zach Alley, on that one.
I did. Yeah. Yeah. We are man.
You know,
I was pissed off when I saw he went to West Virginia. I'm like, good God. And then the whole Jim Knowles thing. And well, how can Brent be a head coach and okay, Oklahoma's leading the nation in pretty much every defensive category.
well, and didn't you put on the text thread today that you thought Kevin Wilson might have had a little bit of something to do with the offensive game plan?
I don't believe so.
Oh, I thought somebody said that. But Kevin Wilson might,
Yeah, I
you
mean
never
Kevin
know where
Wilson's
Kevin
probably
Wilson
the actual tight ends coach.
He could be. So, anyways, comment on the line. Minnesota has 6 in a row versus the Huskers. Dan Narva let us know that. And then he also said who thought Washington could win in Ann Arbor. Apparently, I thought they could cover, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah.
But no, the Zach Alley thing, I'll just say this. You roll into Morgantown, there's no Stutzman or Bowman there on that squad. So whatever he did in Norman, he had a lot of assistance.
He had a Ferrari sitting in the garage and traded in for a used V-dub with 300,000 miles on it.
Northwestern 19-0 over Purdue. They cover the 3.5, and I think it was Pat Fitzgerald Day there today. Seriously, I think I saw a tweet that showed him walking in before the game.
Wasn't he the one they fired under dubious circumstances?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
He won his lawsuit, so now we're making nice, huh?
Brett Lashley takes the Mustangs into Death Valley and gets the win over Clemson 35-24. Dabo got to be feeling a little bit of heat, right?
Clemson's bad. They are bad. I can't explain it.
They were without Cade Klubnik. So
Cade Klubnik hadn't been setting the world on fire this year.
Ole Miss 43-35 loss at Athens. They were 7-point dogs, and they just oh gosh,
it's a good day to pick Georgia.
It was, and I didn't. UNLV can't cover the 11.5 at Boise. Did we both jump on that yesterday on the show?
Yeah, we were intoxicated by the Dan Mullen success.
I think I had Boise to start with, and you influenced me.
I'm Costanza in this whole thing next week.
Going Oppo. UNLV doesn't cover the 11.5. Appalachian State can't cover the 10.5. They were favored over Coastal Carolina, and they can't win the game either. 45-37 Chanticleers, or is it Chanticleers?
I don't think it matters.
Still tied up 10-all, and Kentucky just fielded a punt. So 6:38 left to go in the fourth quarter in Lexington.
See, and we were talking about this yesterday. The Texas hangover, is a Texas thing.
Well, I think it was a Barry thing too.
Yeah,
I think that originated back in
the day. Hell, Barry didn't lose a lot of ball games.
My God, we go down there and party after we beat their ass.
You know how much cocaine I had that night? God dang.
Scott Hall. Not Scott Hall.
Where's Scotty Hill?
Scott Hill had the party rolling. You got Jamel over there in his fur. God damn it.
But it wasn't a Bob thing, and apparently at least this year it's not a Brent thing. But Sark
as we mentioned last year, it was very rare that Stoops ever lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't until that 2014 season.
And one of them 8 and 5s. You know, every once in a while he had a retool year.
Or that 05 season, maybe 05, 09, or 14. That would have been 2 of the candidates. Tech couldn't cover the 9.5. They lose at Arizona State 26-22. Man, I had Florida covering the 9.5 against Mississippi State, but the Bulldogs keep it close. Had a chance to win that, actually, and they lose 23-21.
I picked Mississippi State, so yay me.
Brett Favre's alma mater takes me through for 1 point, 22-10. They win over Louisiana. Is it Louisiana or Southwestern Louisiana?
It's Louisiana.
Okay. Dan Narva with some Barry imitation. Hey, have 100.
Man, I'd like to see that again. It's been a while.
Yeah, it has. A&M with the no cover at Fayetteville, 7.5 points. They were favored. They win by 3. Iowa. How about the Hawkeyes? They are leading 25-24 in the fourth quarter, 3:54 left to go. So maybe if they could kick a field goal, I could get that one. Maryland leads UCLA at Westwood 10-7. That's in the fourth quarter as well. Pittsburgh, I've got the Panthers over Syracuse. They're leading that one 20-7, 11.5 point favorite on that one. And then I took Tennessee with the 8.5. They're 10 right now. So, and Alabama has the ball.
I picked Bama in that game, so hopefully the night turns out better for me.
Well, no, I'm obviously going to lose the Notre Dame pick because they were 9.5 point favorites over the Trojans, and now it's 1 point lead for USC.
Wow!
Kentucky quarterback scrambling, looks downfield and might have completed it for a.
On the field, it's a completion. Let's go to the replay center. Oh, wait, we don't do that in the SEC.
That's 1st and 10 Wildcats, baby. Missouri 10-7.
Yeah, it's a catch.
1.5 point favorites. I don't know what, whatever. But I was off on my score of Mississippi and Georgia, and we'll see what happens with my Utah and BYU pick. But Cincinnati probably not going to hit my most points this week, but it's a bad week picking for me, Jeremy. And I bet that moron Connor Carr probably is going to reel off another 19.
I had UCF scoring the most points this week. How many points did they score?
Oh, they hung it up.
They scored 45.
Yeah, TCU at 42-36 over Baylor, but that wasn't
Boise State had 56.
Okay, so yeah. Thanks, Dan Mullen.
Yeah, way to go, Dan Mullen.
Oh, speaking of so the Trojans scored to make it. Yeah, that's 24-21. I think we saw that brewing. I mean, USC's 5-1, Jeremy. They win this one. Who they got left?
Let me effort that real quick.
I might be able to get it, as we're going to be wrapping up here in just a little bit.
I could have just looked at what I told you about yesterday. Here we go. SC has.
Do they have?
They've got Nebraska,
win,
Northwestern,
win,
Iowa.
Where's that at?
LA.
Yeah, that was a win.
Oregon and UCLA. So
Oregon will beat them, and I would say, depending on what UCLA does, I mean, they're kind of still riding on that high of losing coach, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, speaking of Clinton Liquor, Jeremy, did you see Marty posted on the Clinton Liquor Facebook page that they've got a signature Babe Ruth whiskey?
Really?
Yeah, it was a real interesting bottle. And
it tastes like hot dogs and beer.
Well, what I commented was, that Babe Ruth was nothing but a fat guy with little stick legs. And I found out another thing. He wasn't actually a sultan. Oh, Irish get the score real quick back, 27-24. My gosh. We're going to have some fun games to watch.
The return of the USC defense.
I've got pokes on, I don't know. Dan Narvis says Iowa must be on Peacock and pokes on the plus side. I've got pokes. I mean,
I've got the pokes on ESPN too.
I've got them on ESPN too.
Same.
Man, I'm telling you, YouTube TV is not really helping me out with the multi-channel picks.
No, you can set your own up.
I tried. You want to riddle me through that sometime next week?
You have to. I don't know how you do it on yours, but you go into a menu and you can change the multi-view.
Okay. Anyways, well, we need to start getting out of here, but before we do want to thank one more sponsor, and that would be A Plus Roofing and Construction. Rain or shine, they'll be there, locally owned and operated by Damon Schultz, serving Western Oklahoma and the OKC Metro. Call them at 580-772-7587. And Damon Schultz is another very trustworthy dude that I think if you had roof problems, roof issues, you didn't know what you really needed or what the case might be, he's not going to go tearing up shingles just because he can collect some insurance money like I think some companies do. Maryland leading UCLA 10-7 in the fourth quarter, as I mentioned. Jeremy, it's always so much fun to do this show on college football recap night, but I got to say, it's just so much easier to roll this out after OU has performed well, because last week I think I showed myself to a lot of folks.
Yes, your ass was on display right there.
Thank you, and that's what friends are for.
Well, I compartmentalize, and I'm over it by the time we take the airways.
I'm still not letting Beanbo off the hook. I mean, if it's got to be after the season, I get it, but
I just want to know why it took this long to be able to figure out a run game. And then I want to know why it took this long to see EPL and Foji out there at the guards.
Mm-hmm. Is Seth McGowan in this game for Kentucky?
He is.
Yeah. Go Seth.
Yeah, he's an outstanding young man.
They're focusing a lot on the Tennessee quarterback.
Joey Aguilar,
Here comes
double pass.
Alabama.
Oh,
Oh, he slipped through that. What the heck?
and he
Oh my
oh
gosh. That's just not wanting to tackle a dude.
no, you got him dead to rights in the
That's
backfield. What are you
bad.
doing?
That is so bad. Texas with the ball back, Quintravian Wisner, 2:19 left to go. They'll probably get in field goal range, and
You know what else we didn't
they're
see
already
today?
40.
It just occurred to me.
Huh.
We didn't see any silly, poorly timed trick plays.
No, it didn't seem like that was going to be in their repertoire today,
It
right?
was hard-nosed SEC football. Run
It
the
really
ball.
was, and that's and kudos to Brent. That's what you got to do on the road, right?
I think Brent finally had to come to Jesus meeting with his coaches.
You got to. I mean,
You
you
know,
you've got to. You can't be unbalanced in this league.
but what's crazy? You say that. What's crazy though is I saw the split of run to pass for the season.
Yeah.
They had run the ball one more time than thrown the ball this year.
What was the?
It
But I
was like
mean, your one loss.
241 to 240 or something like that. It
But
was
your one loss, you're
yeah.
looking at a pretty distinctive gap, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well,
I
yeah,
mean that.
because you couldn't run the football.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I remember Barry Trammell wrote an article one time, and it might have been post Mike Leach, but I mean, it's one of those things, and it's all about patience to my mind,
Mhm.
Jeremy. If you have to hit a quick hitch, or if you have to work the edge off of the flat passes, and you're getting semi decent blocking from your receivers that aren't receiving the catch. I mean, that little 4-yard pass play is just as good as running the running back up through the tackles
Well, it's a recipe for a chunk play too if you got everybody blocking.
if you keep at it. And like I said last week, I think what Mateer almost threw a pick six on the here we go. Rand Lindsay, to me, a quick kick is a trick play.
Well, I mean, they made their intentions known when he dropped back to
Hey,
12 yards behind center.
that's a lot more strategic than
Man,
rolling
that
out
was
a tight end trying to hurl it downfield or something.
yeah, right. The Bauer Sharp package.
Exactly. But no, Rand is correct, and we appreciate him. Hey, like I said, it's just one of those things where even if you're not going, and I can remember days when in the bad days at OU where they wouldn't even show any hint of a passing game. Remember 98 against Colorado?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, no, we really don't care to try the forward pass today.
No.
Kind of like Michigan versus Texas last year. But no, I mean, you have to at least keep a defense honest. And even if you're having trouble running the ball, you gotta even if it's a lost yardage. But like I said, I remember Barry Trammell pointing out, if the odds are that your run is going to get stuffed at the 4, then do a little quick bubble screen to get 3 or 4. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know. But there's a
No.
reason I'm not an offensive coordinator.
Well, I mean, those short passes are just as good as runs,
Yeah.
but you got to have willing blockers.
You do, and you have to, like I said, you have to be patient. And I think when you look back at this week compared to last week, it was a team that was both times it was a team that was willing to kind of stick with the run.
Yep.
And then you had success early this week instead of no success last week. So
Well, yeah, if you have success early, it just kind of feeds into that willingness to want to, impose your will on that other team.
for sure.
Which
Man, I
they
hate
did.
to cut out of here when we've got 17 viewers, but it is kind of that time. I know you've got to be at work tomorrow. So anyways, ruler of the airways, Jeremy Schroeder. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. We want to thank all of our sponsors for checking us out or helping us out tonight. And, it's just one of those things where we appreciate all the folks that support our show, and particularly CCW Safe. And that link is there at the bottom. CCW Safe provides legal self-defense coverage with plans starting as low as $19 a month. Use the link there on the scroll or in the description of this live broadcast and get you some coverage. What's shaking your head at?
Texas sucking.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
If they lose tonight, I'm
bad.
just going to What the hell are we even doing?
That's right. All right. He's Jeremy Schroeder, ruler of the airways. I'm Chuck Ramsey, the Law Dog. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, X, and Facebook. Be safe out there. Don't text and drive, and sure don't drink and drive. We'll talk to you next Friday, 9 a.m. for the Weekend Big Show.